Hi, welcome to Razel Live. Today we are going to discuss about the importance of testing in reference to the role of a business analyst. As you all well aware about, business analysis is all about understanding the requirements and providing solutions for any of the customer needs, followed by the demands. In this process, gathering of requirements by performing the process mapping and all everything by understanding the business requirements document, functional requirements documentations, all that. At the same time, understanding about the business enterprise by performing the business modeling, followed by the feasibility study, followed by analysis and all everything is a continuous process of a BA. So business analysts act as a liaison between business and technical communities, which most of the people known about this. In reference to the testing, nowadays, the importance of testing for the role of a BA as an individual or a group is phenomenally increasing nowadays due to the demand. So being a business analyst, whatever the activities do we perform, wherein we need to interact with all the development team, testing team and all everything in a regular manner. Apart from that, knowing about the knowledge of testing is also essentially required. By designing the different test scenarios and as well as test cases and all, which is completely relating to the manual part, because normally testing we will be differentiating into two different things. One is manual, second is automation. Manual testing, where using different through using Word document, we prepare different test cases, all that. Whereas automation testing completely focusing on the kind of tools what we use to do the testing, all that. So that is will be taken care of by the testing team as separate. Of course, manual testing process will be initiated by the testing team, accepted. But along with that, the role of a business analyst, we will be supporting the testing team in preparing the test scenarios and as well as the test cases, which is something connecting to the functional and non-functional requirements of the project. At the same time, applying the business and functional knowledge by imparting the test standards and as well as the guidelines, so that whoever is working under the team, so that they will be meeting the testing objectives, what is that we have defined so far. Next, we can execute the task, which are something relating to the test plans and as well as test cases, test scripts. Followed by this, whatever the defect life cycle will be prepared by the testing team, so that we will be supporting them and we execute the task even here as well. Along with that, we analyze the test results of the testing part, followed by the kind of process. Due to that, we recommend whatever the required solutions to be performed will also be taken care of by the BA nowadays. Last but not least, we need to prepare the documents by imparting the test procedures and all everything, so that whatever the required findings and all everything will be identified finally. So nowadays, it's not only about understanding the requirements and providing the business solutions by understanding the enterprises. As in when we are working under the software development life cycle, understanding about software testing life cycle and how this testing functions and how this testing performs, what are the different stages of STLC do we have, what are the different software testing life cycle, is also essentially required for any BA to perform with. So this is how generally the software testing life cycle, one being a business analyst, we must be good with. So this is how generally the software testing life cycle, which normally looks like. Right. So this is what generally the software testing life cycle you can see here. So wherein in the software testing life cycle, being a BA, this complete life cycle understanding is required apart from the knowledge whatever I am saying, because whatever I have discussed so far with you since last few minutes, all these will be a part of this software testing life cycle. So one is about requirement analysis, because this is where requirements will be analyzed by the business analyst team in reference to the connect with the client and as well as the team people, all that. So here normally testing people will define the test focuses, what are the test priorities, right? What are the different requirements which can be testable, what kind of tools are really feasible for us to do the testing, all that will be done under the requirement analysis phase. This is the phase where requirements will be gathered. Parallelly, even testing team will also be working to understanding about the testing part, all that thing. Next, test planning. In this test planning, whatever the test plans, test strategy documents and all, everything will be prepared by the testing team. At the same time, they need to define the kind of objectives and scope of the project, because that objective and scope of the project must be aligned to this. Otherwise, if it is not aligning, so that there is no value for the project, what is that we are developing. So there must be a constant alignment between these two things, which is essentially required. Next, we need to identify what are the different types of testings we have involved in software testing lifecycle. Something like unit testing, performance testing, integration testing, module testing, regression testing, right? So different testing types do we have and all. So that also has to be listed here. Next, what kind of testing tool we are selecting to do the testing in real environment. At the same time, what is the resource planning? Like how many resources we require for doing this testing, all that. At the same time, what are their roles and what responsibilities do they need to perform? All these things has to be done under this test planning stage. Followed by this, preparing the test schedule is also another part of it. This is the second level as far as test planning itself is concerned. Followed by the test planning, the next is test case development. Here, testing team will prepare test cases. At the same time, they prepare test automation and as well as test scripts and all, everything based upon the requirement and need. Followed by this, they prepare test data preparations and all, everything, which is something useful for us to execute the test cases and test scripts over a period of time when we are working on it. Fourth level is about test environment setup, where they need to create an environment for testing, both hardware and software, whatever is relevant and whatever is required. Followed by this, we perform smoke testing, all that. All these things comes under the test environment setup. Once the test environment setup is done, the test execution will be taken place, where whatever the test cases being prepared by these people will be executed here. At the same time, they need to perform and they need to update the status of the test cases, whether the major role is of two different things. One is expected result followed by the actual result. Expected result is what customer is expecting. Actual result is what team has completed. So both are same. We consider that test condition is considered as pass. Otherwise, we consider that as failed. So this is what usually we do in reference to the test execution part here. At the same time, whatever the defects we have identified, again that will be retransformed to the development team so that they work on that accordingly, so that they try to see the quality output with all the accurate results has to be performed. That's what generally happens in the test execution. Once test execution is done, then next we go for test cycle closure, where we are trying to evaluate the cycle completion criteria, wherein by preparing test closure reports, all that will be done under test cycle closure. So this is what the complete software testing life cycle, which testing people will be performed. Being a business analyst, as in when we are interacting with the testing team, followed by the development team, all that on regular interval, right from the inception to the delivery of the project. So understanding about software testing life cycle is essentially required for a business analyst nowadays. At the same time, involving in the manual testing process by preparing test cases and all, everything is essentially needed nowadays for any BA. So this is all about the importance of testing in reference to the role of a business analyst nowadays, which is increasing phenomenally across industries, irrespective of technology and irrespective of the domain. If you have any questions in reference to this video, what we have posted, Followed by this, if you require any kind of training needs, all that, so please reach out to our contact details, which will be posted below to this video. Thank you. Bye.